All right. Welcome, guys. My name is Emmanuel, Igweh, founder of Ryzen. Founder of Ryzen Results, the number one and the greatest marketing CRM to insurance agents, independent agents, small business owners, and real estate agents. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. And we're going to be doing a what I call marketing tips. Okay, we're going to be doing a marketing tips Monday. Marketing tips Monday. Now, what is the one thing that I want to talk about when it comes to marketing? And this is going to be based off of my personal experience from running a marketing organization for a short period of time, and then also with having an advertising software company and running the development team as well. Is the number one thing that I highly always would say recommend to you to basically check is, who are you advertising to? Okay. Who is your target audience? Like, for instance, right now on the development team, we're developing new features to supplement onto the Ryzen platform. And with the developers, we're having meetings such as, okay, who is our target audience? Okay. And what is the number one problem that they have? And how is this new software going to help them, right? So the insurance agents, for instance, give you an example. One of the biggest thing most independent insurance agents have, especially in some final expense policies, is they have chargebacks. If you don't know what a chargeback is, a chargeback basically means you as the agent gets paid out a commission, and then once you're paid out a commission, if of the 9 to 10 month premium, if the client cancels within 2 to 3 months of the policy being active, the remaining months that you were advanced commission, you owe that money back to the insurance company, right? So we're thinking, okay, so how can we go ahead and alleviate chargebacks? Okay, number one thing we're finding people are forgetting, the dates of the payments. Just a few features that I cannot discuss right now. But why do I bring that up? I'm bringing that up is to, in your marketing efforts, because Ryzen, basically, we don't do the marketing for you. We give you the tools and we help you set things up so you can do the marketing yourself. The major thing the mistakes that people are doing is they do not know the audience that they are targeting, right? They're trying to speak to everybody. They're trying to market to everybody. I know you're going to say, well, in this video, you said insurance agents, small business owners, all of this. That's because those are the people that we currently have as our user base. So technically, I'm speaking to the Ryzen users, right? So I'm speaking to the Ryzen users audience. Now, the reason why I am bringing this up is if you are going to whatever you want, you have to be very specific about it, because if you try to sell to everybody, you will sell to nobody. Okay, I'm going to repeat that one more time. If you are trying to sell to everybody, you will sell to nobody, because the reality is if you are going to sell to Jane or Joe or James, and your job is to sell them, let's say, pest control product, then you need to understand, okay, what are the problems that Jane is currently having, right? Okay, they have pest problems, they have rodent problems. Okay, what are the questions that they are asking themselves? They're probably asking themselves, hey, how do we make this stop? Is there anybody out there that can solve this problem? What are we currently doing right now to attract the pests? These are questions you have to put yourself in the mind of your audience, the mind of your prospect, the mind of your customer, if you're going to be able to write the right message. Okay. So the reason I'm saying this is I want you to go ahead and pay attention in your marketing strategy. If it is not working, then it is more than likely not working because your message is not being tailored to the right audience. And that is why marketing is 80% research and experimentation. Okay, what does that mean? Let's say, for instance, you go ahead and you run a campaign for, let's say, insurance. You're trying to sell insurance to, let's use an example of, you're trying to sell like seniors, right? But then you're finding out the majority of people that are buying your insurance are between the ages of 30 to 40. Then you're going to say, okay, you know what? Now I'm noticing that the initial target market that we went for, which was people over the age of 50, aren't really purchasing our product. But for some reason, I resonate with people between the ages of 30 and 40. So guess what? I'm going to now go ahead and focus on that audience. You have to be willing to adapt your message. You have to be willing to optimize your message. Because here's the key thing with marketing is, when you start marketing, it is not a touch it once and forget about it. When you launch a Facebook ad campaign, it is not a touch it once and forget about it. You have to come to it give or take every day to analyze the reports, but then make changes anything from, every 14 days if you need to optimize. For instance, we do changes every 14 days. Every 14 days, you go ahead and make a change. The reason why we do 14 days is because any big change to a campaign, for instance, let's say you have a big Facebook campaign, any drastic change to a Facebook campaign, such as budget, you turn it on, you turn it off, you're resetting the algorithm. So we try to go 14 days because we also give about a 7-day downtime, or we just go ahead and create a new campaign. But that's just an example. I want you to understand is to know your audience. So that's why we basically laid this out. I know I've been yapping for a long period of time, but let's go ahead and talk about the things you should cover. Now, if you're going to do anything in marketing, copywriting, sales, I highly recommend you check out this book. The name of the book is Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. Highly recommend. I've been reading this book for the last quarter. Q4, that's my Q4 read. All right, that's the Q4 read. Everyone in Ryzen has to read a book. That is our Q4 read, which is the Copywriting Secrets. Now, why am I bringing that book up to you? Jim Edwards talked about something called the PQR2, which is your audience's problems, questions, roadblock, and desired results. What does that mean? That means that you, as the person crafting your message, if you do not understand the problem that your target audience is experiencing, and the questions you're asking themselves, then you do not know what roadblocks they have and how to give them the desired result. 90% of the time when I jump on sales calls or people book demo calls with one of my team members, I do occasionally pop on a few of them. When I do, I instantly know who's going to sign up and who's not going to sign up based off of the questions and the roadblocks they're currently experiencing. So that's why I highly recommend you go ahead, you get the book from Jim Edwards, and you go ahead and study your audience. Think from their eyes. Think from their shoes. Okay? Walk a mile in their shoes because you want them to give you their money, right? If you want them to give you their money, then it's only fair that you know a little bit about them. There's a saying that says people do not care how much you understand people don't know how much you care onto the something, something, something. But long story short is people want to be listened to. They want to know that you actually care about them, and they actually want to know that you understand them. That's all they care about is them. It's legitimately them. People are very self-centered. I hate to say people are very self-centered. So if you want to market, you have to market to people from a very self-interest basis. A very self-interest basis. Okay. So that's the first marketing tip. Number one is this. You have to know your audience. Very important to know your audience. Know the problems they're asking themselves. Know the questions, the roadblocks, and the results that they need. Okay. All right. We're going to go ahead and go into the next one now. You have to basically pick an outreach method and stick to it. Now, most people see what we do in Ryzen, such as you probably find us on YouTube, you find us on Bing, you find us on, you got an email from us, you find us on Google, you find us on LinkedIn, you find us, we're everywhere, right? That's pretty much fair because our marketing strategy is not, it's contradictory to what I'm actually telling you right now. But our marketing strategy is based off of we conquer one end and then we go ahead and dominate the other end, and then we go ahead and dominate another space, right? But if you are starting out your brand new business and you do not have a high marketing budget, you do not have the expertise, and you do not have the experience then you basically want to go ahead and pick one outreach method and stick to it. One method, get good at one thing and stick to it. Either you're going to do paid social, either you're going to go on TikTok, you're going to run ads on TikTok, or you're going to get influencers to promote your product, right? If you can get influencers to promote your product and then you pay them, you don't pay them until their followers come in and buy. Let's say I'm an influencer and I have 200,000 genuine followers. I have 200,000 genuine followers. And you tell me, hey, I get a 20% commission whenever someone buys a product. Now, if, let's say 200 people out of my 200,000 buy, then you pay me a commission, right? That is basically code for affiliate marketing, right? So you can do the affiliate marketing route, and I didn't put that in there, but we're going to go ahead and put in, I'll put that in there later. But let's see here. We're going to put that in later. But you can try the affiliate marketing method, which is you find other people to promote your product, which is basically what insurance is. Insurance, for instance, is an affiliate marketing, such as the agents don't get paid until the client pays for the policy, and then the agent gets paid. So the agents basically are code word affiliates. Real estate is similar to affiliates as well, as far as your job is to help, the seller sell the house or the buyer get a house, and then whatever it is your deal is, you get paid once the deal is complete. That is code word affiliate, right? You're helping somebody else push the product, and then at the end of it all, you get paid. So you can go ahead and say, you know what, I'm going to get affiliates. If you have a very good offer to your affiliates, then you can say, hey, they go ahead and promote my product and pitch my product. Then I can go ahead and give them a commission from it. That is another method that you can do. Then obviously the paid social ads, such as, you can run ads on TikTok, you can run ads on Facebook and Instagram platform. Um, you can run ads on what are the Twitter. You can do Twitter. LinkedIn is more B2B. You can do LinkedIn social network. But you have to pick one. If you say you're gonna do Facebook and Instagram, just stick to it. If you're gonna do TikTok, stick to it. My most preferred method is paid search, because the intent that we get from search customers are completely different than what we did from what we get from paid social. Like, for instance, when we get most of our conversions from either this YouTube video that you're watching, or someone seen our search campaign on either Google or Google Display Network, Google Search Network, or the Bing or Bing Search, Microsoft Search Network. So I enjoy paid search because they are actually searching for my product. So the intent's a lot higher than people who come in from paid social. You might be watching this and you came from paid social, which is perfectly fine. But I say get one, stick to it. Ryzen pretty much gives you the ability to run a Facebook ad campaign in just 3 clicks. So we can help you with the paid social part. The paid search part is, honestly, if you want my God's honest advice, I would learn the skill. Okay. Learn the skill of how to run ads across the search networks, as opposed to paying an agency $3,000 to $4,000 just as a retainer. And then you have to cover the ad budget of another $3,000 to $4,000. So now you're stuck with about $10,000 in ad spend. Okay. And then you have to understand that still also they have to split test to find the right audience. Then they have to train the Google conversions, basically train Google's conversion algorithm to understand who your target audience is. So you have to be willing to go through a few $1,000s to get the good results. Am I saying that doesn't work? No, it actually still does work, but I highly recommend you keep your marketing in-house. Highly so. And in the future, we'll probably roll out something where you can launch, ads across Google once we're able to sync to them. So in the future, that might probably be a thing, but I highly recommend you pick one and you stick to it. The next of all is cold email or call campaigns. Okay. Cold email campaigns is you purchase a list, scrub the list, make sure the emails are good, and then you just go ahead and email them. The thing about cold emails, it is an activity based. I highly recommend, if you're going to do cold emails, no less than 1,000 emails a day. If you're going to do cold calls, if you can do no less than 500 to 1,000 cold calls a day, that's perfectly fine. You can leverage virtual assistants to do your cold calls. I just say that before you do, go ahead and study the TCPA laws. And you notice I didn't say cold text messages. I didn't say text messages. The reason why I didn't say text messages is text messages have a 90 to 98% open rate. What that means is people do see it. Emails, not a lot of people are going to read the emails, and they might see it and then not even paying any attention. But if you keep hammering them with text, people are going to start complaining. So that's the reason why I say when it comes to text, be very careful with text messages and make sure you're complying with text message laws. The people who do text message campaigns, but be very careful with text message laws, especially the TCPA laws. Next is referrals. If you're going to run referrals, I highly recommend you have to understand something. Referrals is not really consistent initially, right? So you're going to have to start either a paid social, paid search, cold campaign before referrals start to flow in. Referrals are typically come after, some activity has been done first. Okay. And then and most of the times when they do, they're not really consistent. You can, but it's not sustainable to build a business off of referrals. You have to have some element of cold, or some element of some campaign going on, right? That's something I would highly recommend there. And then obviously the television campaigns and mailing in the newspaper. Television campaigns, do they really convert? Honestly, we do not dabble in television campaigns. I don't run television campaigns. I don't see the need for it, because I like to think about it for my audience. Let's say you see my ad on TV. If you're watching TV, what are you doing? You're typically probably watching, the news, or you're watching football, or you're watching something, right? The last thing you need is you see the ad and then you go, all right, let me go ahead and call this people. Now, the people, does it work? It's still 100% work. Television or radio still does work. But the budget required to fund that is not necessarily something I want to dabble with. So if it works for you, highly do it. Use it. 100% use it. Mailing campaigns are pretty good. When I was selling insurance, they were the preferred way to go, because for somebody to respond to a mail, they had to actually write it down. There was higher intent. So the mailings were very good and people were doing good business off of it. I did do good business off of the mailings as well. But the thing about mailings is, just like referrals, you don't see a higher conversion ratio, right? Like for instance, if you mail out 1,000 pieces of mail, you probably get about 12 of them back. And that's the same thing. If you send about 1,000 emails, you probably get about 12 responses. And out of 12 responses, you probably get 3 of them convert into a deal, and 3 to 4 of them convert into a deal with emails. And that's about the same thing for mail is probably get about 2, 3 of them convert into deals, right? But do I say stop that? No, absolutely. Just keep going on. Keep doing it. So highly recommend if you're going to do anything like cold emails or any cold campaign, just go 1,000. Another thing is newspaper. You can do newspaper ads. I don't do them, so I can't really tell you, comment on those. But there are various advertising networks out there, and some of them I did not cover in the scope of this video. Whichever one's working for you, do it, stick to it until you've gotten to the point where you're able to break high 6 figures. Stay with that one campaign, okay, until you're able to break high 6 figures. And then you want to kind of go ahead and see, okay, let's branch out into this. And then let's get this in-house, let's hire staff here, let's hire staff there. That's honestly what I would recommend as far as the marketing tips is know your audience, one, and pick an outreach method and stick to it. And then obviously, most important thing, and I'd say the most important tip there is be patient. Okay, be patient with the process. Everything takes time. Everything takes time. Everything takes time. It doesn't matter what it is that you're trying to do. You have to understand that everything takes time. If you're trying to build a sustainable relationship with a significant other, understand it takes time. For your kids to be able to be self-sufficient and independent, it takes time. For your business to grow, it takes time. You cannot be willing to say, hey, I just started out in business today, so which means I should be a millionaire in 90 days. That's not how anything works. Nothing works like that. You do not go to college for 4 years, and then Alex Hormozy talks about this. You do not go to college for 4 years, and then while you're in college for 4 years, not getting paid, and then you're paying them to get the skill and to learn, and then you expect to not make any money for 4 years, but you're not like, oh, why am I not a millionaire in college within the 4 years? No, you're very comfortable in accepting of being broke. I remember in my college days, I was eating ramen noodles and boiled eggs and and McDonald's $1 menu. Now, most of you probably had a fancy college life. I don't know, but the main thing is just be patient with the process. Nothing good or worth having comes quick. Just understand that. So if you're struggling, embrace it. It gives you a story, because the truth is people enjoy struggles. People really, really want to listen to your struggles, because if they know that you struggle to get to where you're at, it gives them some element of peace, knowing that, hey, you know what? If it took him 5 years to be able to make 6 figures, then you know what? I can do 5 years. It gives them some element of benchmark, because nobody wants to be alone. Then again, I'm also going to do a shameless plug before we go ahead and end this video. If you do not have right now the number one, I personally believe, to me, is the number one marketing platform that there is out there for independent insurance agents, for insurance agencies as well, and for the small business owners and coaches and credit repair. We have everybody, but go to risenresults.com/free trial. Once again, that is risenresults.com/free trial. You go ahead and get your free trial. It's free for 14 days. And once you get your free trial, you get access to the ads manager. You get access to everything. And you also get a dedicated account manager to support you through Hawaii. Now, that's all I got for you guys. And that's my mean accent over there. And for that, guys, I say enjoy, and I'll catch you guys in a future video. Take care.